1979. Asteroids. Big hit for Atari. It wasn't their first game by far, but it was the first quality game in their big arcade push in the late 70s and early 80s. The arcade golden age, as it is often referred. Did you know that there were 3 sequels? Asteroids Deluxe followed it in 1980. It was a small evolutionary step from the original. Graphically, the asteroids rotated, and gameplay-wise, the hyperspace was replaced with shields. Space Duel would then be released in 1982. The asteroids were replaced with geometric shapes. Most notable of Space Duel is that it had 2-player simultaneous gameplay. This was the only 2-player simultaneous vector game that was made by Atari. Then in 1987, amid a relatively bad time in the arcade scene, they released a somewhat lost gem of a game, and by far the best in the series, Blasteroids. Gone were the vector graphics. They were replaced with some very nice raster graphics which looked very impressive for the time. To me, I think most of the sprites that were used in Blasteroids still hold up pretty well. Gameplay is similar to all the previous titles. There are asteroids, you shoot them. Large asteroids break into medium, medium break into small. Your ship moves around with a thrust button, it rotates and it shoots. Spaceships come out and then try to shoot you. Yep, this is an asteroids game, alright. Blasteroids gives you a few different difficulties. For your first time, I would highly suggest the easy one. Asteroids do not destroy you outright in this game. You have shields and you have energy. All damage, firing, and movement slowly depletes your energy. When your energy is gone, your ship explodes. Shields will absorb damage that would otherwise drain your energy. Energy can be replaced by little energy crystals that get dropped after certain asteroids get destroyed. Shields can be replenished from power-ups that drop off of destroyed spacecraft. There are several other power-ups as well. There are double shots, extra shot power, Death Blossom, Ripstar, extra fuel, extra speed, crystal magnets, and cloaks. One nice thing about this game is that since you will be dying a lot, your power-ups actually persist through death. This is a very uncommon thing for games like this in any era. Your ship can also morph into one of 3 different types. The Fighter, which is the standard balanced ship, the Speeder, which is faster but weaker, and the Warrior, which moves really slow but has a high amount of damage resistance. You will need all the help you can get. There are multiple types of asteroids this time. You have the basic ones. There are crystalline looking asteroids called popcorn that grow as they get shot. They eventually become frozen in place and things will start bouncing off of them. These actually can be used defensively if you plan where their final frozen positions are going to be. There are seeker asteroids that will fly directly at you once they are shot. And finally, there are egg asteroids which contain energy leeches which are an enormous pain. There are also various types of enemies such as flying saucers, various other types of spaceships, flying mushroom things, and space turtles. Blasteroids has a little bit of strategy involved too. To beat the game, you must clear every sector. After beating one of the sectors, you are given a choice to move to one of the connecting sectors. The sector selector also gives you an idea of what to expect when you get there. Are you low on energy? You want to select a board that has an energy icon so that you can try to recharge your ship. Are there a lot of popcorns or seekers? It's a very nice added element to the game. Once all the sectors are cleared, you square off against Mukor. He rules all galaxies after all. You must beat him several times to complete the game, with him getting tougher each time you face him. Even with the power-ups, this game can be very challenging. Blasteroids lets you even the odds with 2-player co-op play, and I don't use that term loosely either. It's really co-op. Each player can control their own ship, or one player can morph into a speeder and the other one into a warrior, and the ships can combine into one super ship. The speeder ship becomes a turret on the warrior, and the warrior's shot becomes a more explosive type. To me, this feature has always been very cool, and I wish more games had this sort of team-up functionality. Blasteroids was a great game at a very bad time in the arcade industry. The industry as a whole and Atari itself were really struggling. I think it's due to this that it never got a proper home console release. However, it was released for several computer systems of the time, such as the Amiga, the Commodore 64 or 128, the MSX, the Atari ST, and MS-DOS PCs. It was also an inspiration for one of my favorite shareware games of all time, Maelstrom by Ambrosia Software. Atari classics are having a nice resurgence in popularity recently, so hopefully they will put this in one of their future collections. Finding one of these machines was hard in 1987, and it is very hard now. There are less than 100 of these made. Darn shame, because this is the best game based around the Asteroids design ever made. It's a very fun single-player game as well as a co-op game. Once again, thank you for watching Classic Credits. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe if you like it. And see you next time, where I show you a game that you may have forgotten or never even heard about.